My name is Steve Munno. I'm the farm manager at Massaro Community Farm here in Woodbridge, Connecticut. I farm because I love food, and it gives me a great opportunity to be a steward of a piece of land and to play an important role in the community providing food. We are now in our 10th year of farming here as Massaro Community Farm. We started in 2010, and prior to that, the Massaro family had started in 1916 running their dairy operation. So originally, this was a dairy farm run by the Massaro family. And they had 2 generations here running the dairy farm, and as they got older they didn't have children to leave it to, the second generation, so they deeded the property to the town of Woodbridge in a conservation easement, and people in the community wanted to see it be a farm again, and I was hired to come and get it up and running as an organic vegetable farm with a CSA program, educational programs, and donations to hunger relief organizations. So we have 1 heated greenhouse here and 6 high tunnels which we use to extend the growing season, and it allows us to grow all year long. And then in the fields where we have about 10 acres where we're growing 50 vegetables and a mix of flowers as well. We have beehives here, we do beekeeping workshops, and we harvest honey in the fall. And we have a learning garden where we do educational programs for home gardeners and such. Well, we're pretty lucky to be here in Woodbridge right outside of New Haven because we've got great proximity to the city and to the surrounding communities. There's lots of challenges to farming in this region. Over the 10 years I've been growing here, we've seen years of severe drought. More recently we've seen extreme rain, and we're also seeing climate change that's bringing in new pests, new diseases. There's different timings for our plants now. So there's a lot of change, and we need to, prepare for that change and be resilient. Fortunately, here in Connecticut, there's a lot of resources for help and support for farmers. I reached out to the Natural Resource Conservation Service with water and soil concerns, and I've been able to get great help managing erosion, constructing high tunnel, putting in pollinator habitat. It's really been a number of things that have helped make us a successful operation here.
My name is Diane Blaze. I'm with the U.S. Department of Agricultural Natural Resources Conservation Service, also known as NRCS. I'm a district conservationist at the Hampden Field Office covering Fairfield and New Haven counties.
So I reached out to NRCS as soon as I started here at Massaro, and we were able to look at the soil maps together of the property here, and walk through the fields and identify any resource concerns and start strategizing on a conservation plan and some work that we had ahead.
So a conservation plan takes into account the soil, water, air, plants, animals, all of the natural resources at the farm, and works with the farm to manage it in a way that's sustainable and meets their production goals. Some of the things that are addressed in the plan include soil erosion, so ensuring that the soil stays on the field rather than washing off into the water, and ensuring that water quality remains high quality for irrigation or livestock or wildlife use.
Well, over the 10 years here, we've worked together on a number of projects, and typically if there's been a resource concern or something that I wanted to address, I've been able to call or email Diane, and she's been able to come out within a couple weeks, and typically within a year we've been able to identify or implement a solution. I reached out to NRCS for a number of things, including some technical support and advice so we could put a plan together on managing our access roads. I was concerned about erosion and water runoff from our roads and impacting our fields. And with their help and their engineering, we were able to design and implement an access road that is functioning well for our farm. With the implementation of these practices, we are a stronger, more sustainable farm with more reliable production, mitigating against risks of the environment, maintaining our soil health, maintaining and best utilizing our available irrigation. And that's allowed us to be a more reliable producer for our customers and for the community.
There are other NRCS programs available as well. If you have grazing on your farm, we can work with you on a grazing system, as well as wildlife projects. There's forestry for people who have large tracts of forest or even smaller tracts of forest. The Conservation Stewardship Program works with people who are doing a great job of stewardship on their farm but want to take it to the next level, enhance what they're already doing. The AMA program, Agricultural Management Assistance, works with people who want to add new irrigation to their fields. There are easement programs available for people who are interested in preserving their farm in agriculture for perpetuity. So our financial assistance contracts are set up so that you know what your prices are ahead of time. So for example, we'll pay per acre for cover crop, per square foot per high tunnel, per foot for pipelines for irrigation, etc. And then you will have your budget ahead of time before you actually commit to the contract, so you know what you're signing yourself up for.
We've also worked with the Connecticut Department of Agriculture. They've had a few programs such as the Farmland Restoration Program, which has really helped reclaim this farm that had been out of production for some time and has allowed us to reclaim some of the fields here. And we've been able to tie that together with some of the NRCS projects as well. You know, once we've reclaimed land, then we've been able to address soil and water conservation issues. So it's been great to be here in Connecticut and take advantage of these resources.
So currently in process at Massaro Farm, we're working on some erosion issues with the access roads. We did the design and construction inspection on that, and it's in final certification stage, as well as putting together a pollinator planting plan for him. He's just recently removed some of the material that was in the way of getting that pollinator planting in, and we'll be working on actually getting that installed within the next few months. An option for next steps on the farm would be the Conservation Stewardship Program. This farm is pretty well set in what they're doing and how it's organized, and it's a good way to transition into the next level of enhancements and enroll in a 5-year contract that would pay him for doing things in an environmentally friendly way and being a good steward of the land, as well as enhancing with a variety of different practices that he could do on the farm. To find out if you're eligible for USDA programs, you should call our office, and then we can discuss the concerns you have and your farm. Once we work through a conservation plan, some of those things might be eligible for our financial assistance. Those would be income eligible, and the technical assistance is available to everybody at any time. So any farm can contact us. Our information is on the website. It depends on what county you're in, so you can check the website and find which field office is appropriate for you. Call, email, we'll talk to you about our programs and do a farm visit generally within a few weeks.
Looking ahead, one of the things I'd love to work on is water management in our greenhouse and water capture in there, so we can reduce any water loss from the work we do in our greenhouse with seedlings and getting those started. And also in that space, managing our energy use. We heat our greenhouse with propane. I'd love to reduce that both from an environmental standpoint and also from a cost standpoint. So I'd love to talk with Diane further about that.
I can set you up.
All right.